name is Geneviève Paré.
I'm Catherine Smith.
And we are co-producers of Yabber, a musical junk tale.
Once upon the tic-tac, there was a beautiful land called Yabber. Yabber!
Mudfoot Theatre devises fictional folk stories that are either identifiably Canadian or Albertan or Calgarian. And we strive to minimize waste as much as possible in our projects. So we've naturally developed this sort of like junk found material aesthetic because we use found materials in our costumes, our masks, our puppets to sort of give things one more life before they end up in the recycling or in the waste.
The whole premise of Yabber is that there is a heart at the center of the earth.
Yonda! Pausing for effect.
That character is Yonda. Yonda is sort of like almost a mystical creature crossed with like a little bit of a deity. Some Yabbers believe in Yonda, and some have lost the knowledge of Yonda over many years of Yapitalism.
People of Yabber would travel far and wide to sacred caves to collect shiny stones we call twinkledoins.
We started just gravitating towards talking about capitalism, talking about the need for more and more and more. Especially when you work with junk materials and reclaimed material, when you go and see a landfill, when you go and look at what people have deemed not usable anymore, you start to see how much there is. So like quantity of junk that there is.
No! We are here promoting tourism to Yabber. Remember the economy crash? Think of my wife. She's so dusty. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
One of our characters, arguably the protagonist of the show, is named Frabau. Frabau is an older person who's been living in their community and is isolated. And Frabau's story is one of finding that community, finding new people to be able to connect with, to find love again, and to be able to share knowledge about their love for the environment.
Lupa is a young homeless character who makes his way through the world by tricking people, stealing their lunch, stealing their twinkledoins, and is really an isolated on their own little character, but is still impressionable. And when he encounters Frabau, at first he thinks Frabau's just this like grumpy old bag, and over time realizes that Frabau knows something about the earth and about the way that the earth works, and that they can actually teach him about these things. And there's wonder and excitement and joy and love in that discovery. And so they make this really interesting bond, which is like this old crone character and this orphan boy. And their connection is actually what solves the conundrum that this world is in.
His rib cage is made out of old shower pipe. It's copper pipe that we've cut and tuned to be a xylophone.
I think one of the satisfying things about this show is I finally got to do a show where we use like pots and pans and kitchen supplies as instruments as well, because I'm always finding myself like, mesmerized by a sound that a bowl made when I put it under the sink, and now we got to actually celebrate that, and so that was a very satisfying part of the process as well.
Eventually, we found that our needs were becoming bigger than we were, so we brought on a professional percussionist named Nia Devetsis. Nia's acted as our sort of music director, lead percussionist, who during the show stands behind a table filled with junk instruments and percussion instruments and underscores us, plays songs with us. And the instruments are anything from a glockenspiel to a bunch of like steel metal plates that she's sourced.
Oopsie poopsie, it's a bear trap!
The Yabberites of this world have an addiction to their devices, and their devices are called pedonstophones, and they wear them on their head, and they cover one eye, and they've got little speakers, and so through these devices they consume media. And one of their favorite media productions is the Bagai show. So I perform this character named Bagai Diasso, who's this larger-than-life kind of talk show, game show host character, who's kind of slimy. And his co-host is Titi Tata, who is this beautiful monster damsel type character that we've created.
Titi Tata!
We were excited by the sort of universality of gibberish, that this could be a show that anybody, no matter what their language, no matter what their first language is, they could enjoy it.
A favorite of audiences to take away has been oopsie poopsie. It's what you say when you make a mistake, when you drop something.
Oopsie poopsie, Titi.
So it does sound a little bit like an English that we know, perhaps, and sometimes it sounds totally absurd.
Bigger news! Give me Twinkle Dawn and go Josie. And you...
We had really young kids come and see it, and we had folks like seniors come and see the show as well. And that's always like such an absolute gift and delight to see that it's hitting these different generations and is exciting for kids too.
I think that the show hits a lot of topics that are pertinent to today. It talks about the environment. It talks about mental health. It nods to gender. It nods to collectivity and community and nature deprivation and all of these things. And these topics can be kind of hard to approach or overwhelming, I think, for a lot of us. And what I think is great about the show is that it looks at these things through the logic of a clown. And so it celebrates, tomfoolery and absurdity and joy and play and laughter. And I think that's maybe the only way to really tackle the big things in life, is to find the love and the joy and the laughter in it.
Here we go!